7 o'clock. You got to be at 8. Hey, this is Troy Taylor, and this is Life Lessons Podcast. We came on a little early because we were already on here talking since 6:30. This is my great friend, the man from Seall, the man from Soul, the man with soul, Crystal Ball Paul. We're talking about life lessons. We're talking about a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And we're sitting here talking about patterns. We're talking about life. We're talking about football. Can you believe that I'm talking about football? The pattern of football and having a growth mindset, that pattern of football matches the pattern of the military. And I was about to tell Paul, when the first sergeant is going into Fallujah or wherever y'all are at in the sandbox.
Fallujah, wow.
Is he thinking about the pageantry? Is he on a mission and he's got a job to do? And basically he's got to take care of his guys, because that's the pattern that I'm on when I'm taking the field. I've never been in combat. I've never been in the military. You have. But my dad was a DI for the Marine Corps. The pattern says you need to do your job. You need to do what you've been trained to do, not worry about all the other stuff. So, like, am I on it or am I off it?
All over it. You got me now. You just got me. You got me. You got me on the pageantry stuff. I'm off the pageantry stuff with you now, because you self-corrected me. And how you did it was,
you were seeing it from a different perspective. You were seeing it from the fans' perspective.
Yeah, that's right. And again, there's no pageantry about going into battle. There's no pageantry about going on a convoy and delivering goods across Iraq. But the pageantry for us is back in garrison, when we're marching in front of, we're having ceremonies. But that's not the real job. When the real job happens, there's no such thing as pageantry.
I love practice.
Yeah.
I love practice. I used to just be a guy who wanted to get to the games, but then I realized that ain't how it goes. Like, it isn't just playing the games. If you're a coach that just likes Friday night, you ain't a real coach. Dude, it's about practice. Every day that you walk out on that field is like walking out there for the Super Bowl. And if you don't take it like that, you ain't never getting to the Super Bowl. You're never getting to the big game. And it's like a tightrope. You can't look down when you're on the tightrope, man. You need to focus on staying on the rope. And, we've been talking a lot. Nobody's future you can 100% guarantee is going to happen. But there are patterns. History repeats itself. Look at this guy. A girl gave this to me, who counselors told me, they're school counselors. They're not guidance counselors anymore. School counselors told me, how do you get that girl to do anything? She is crazy. She gave me this. I had this thing for about a year and I didn't even understand it. That's how small my brain is. I gave a blind man a watch once. It's Julius Caesar. It's a pencil holder. He's getting stabbed in his back. History repeats itself. If you are great and you do great things, you're going to have people that hate you. It's a pattern. It's a part of the process. Either you can learn from the patterns, like your grandparents. Where originally were your grandparents from? Because your mom is from England. Did they come from Jamaica? Or was her parents from England? Paul?
Mom is from England. Dad was Jamaican, but
But how did
he
she get to England?
who?
Your mom, was she just born in English? Is she just English, or was she like came from
No,
Jamaica or something to England?
no, she was born there.
So how many generations was she there?
Uh, yeah, her entire family's British. Her father, my grandfather, he and his family migrated there at some point. I don't know,
But you
but
don't know from where. It's probably Jamaica, because Jamaica
yeah,
was a
he
English.
was. He was British Jamaican, but he was a British citizen.
It's a pattern. I just know a little bit about a lot of things. Lambo, have you got your shirt off?
I'm going on the run.
Look at you. Look at you with your shirt off. Growth mindset, fixed mindset. Have you ever heard of the book Growth Mindset, Paul?
No,
Lambo, have you ever heard of having a growth mindset? I was in my doctor classes. I learned about this. They made us read this book.
Yeah, growth mindset.
What
There's a
does
difference
it mean
between
to
a
you to have a
growth.
growth mindset, Lambo?
It's common sense. Growth means growing, means gaining new knowledge every single day, every single hour, every single step. Fixed mindset means that it can't really be fixed, right? Whatever mindset that you have is just whatever you have when it comes to a fixed mindset. It's better to have a growth mindset than a fixed mindset because we learn something new. We learn something new each and every day. Um, and you can't better yourself as a human being if you have a fixed mindset. So that's why it's easier to have a growth mindset. 'Cause it's all about growing. It's all about the process and how you treat your daily habits in your life.
I
Because
want
at
to
the
tell
end of
you
the
this,
day,
Lambo. I want to tell you this because you were there when it happened. When we lost to Highland Springs in the regional championship 2 years ago, they handed me the runner-up trophy. And I handed it to a kid, Kansas, Xavier Carpenter. And I said, dude, we're coming back here next year and we're getting the real trophy. And I just handed it to him. Guess what happened, Paul?
we went
Kansas
65.
didn't. Yeah. The guy I handed the trophy to, he went to a camp because college coaches had told him he needed to come to a camp in order to get recruited. And he went to that camp with his mom, a wonderful woman. And his mom went to the bathroom and he blew out his knee. He had been hurt before. He hurt his ankle his sophomore year. He knows what it means to be injured. He knew something was wrong. He told his mom, he said, we got to go. She came back from the bathroom. Not one trainer and not one coach from that college helped my player. So what did I proceed to do? I went crazy. Because my guy lost his senior year because a college coach told him he needed to come to a camp. He didn't need to come to no camp. They wanted to get his $70. And he blew out his knee. And he didn't play his senior year. But now that kid is going to Ed Waters University. If I had a fixed mindset, I would just thought that I was a loser. But with the growth mindset, dude, you determine your story. It ain't about the decision you make. It's about making it the right decision by doing the right things. Do what's right. Do your best. Treat people how you want to be treated. It's the golden rule for a reason. I didn't hand him the trophy but I handed him an opportunity. And when you're young, Paul, you always want to know, am I making the right decision? Should I go to Virginia Tech or should I go to Georgia Tech? Dude, it doesn't matter where you go. You can make them both right. It's like Yogi Berra. If you see a fork in the road, take it. If you see a fork in the road, take it. Both of them led you to Yogi's house. Did they call him Yogi because he was a yogi? Paul? Yogis are like spiritual guides. How do you feel, Paul, what I'm saying? I'm
not, keep going. I'm not going to stop you.
Nah, dude, I'm basically saying, like, when you're young, you always want to know, is this the right decision? And I told a young kid once, one of my mentees, a guy who I've spent more time with than probably my own son, Shane Reynolds. I said, dude, most decisions in life are made for you. It's almost like you don't have a decision. It's like the pattern. I guess if you live your life the right way, it's like you don't even have a decision to make. Like it's made for you. The way, the pattern takes you the way that it wants you to go. And if you go off the road, that jump will get you back on the road. But I think you really have to do what's right, do your best, treat people how you want to be treated. My mom and dad were experts at that. And my mom and dad, they weren't scared to show their shadow. They didn't repress anything. Like, man, I saw a great movie yesterday. It was Adam Sandler movie, and it was from like 2012. And he plays this guy who, when he was a middle school student, he fell in love with his teacher. Yeah, and it's like, it's on Netflix. But that was such a funny movie, man. And it's like, we think he's such a bad dude because he fell in love with his teacher. But then you find out that the people in the movie who think they're good and that he's bad are actually really bad, a lot worse than him. So that's why I'm saying I'm not scared of my other side, because my other side is good. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, brother? You all right? Oh, here we go. Hello. Sorry I'm bothering you. I want to offer promotion for your channel. We need promotion because we're the low man on the totem pole. All right. Viewers, views, chat bots, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. Okay. Yeah, and this is on Twitch. So Twitch, I've never even been on Twitch, but we stream on Twitch. So Paul, growth mindset, fixed mindset. What's on your mind? We were having a great conversation and we just pressed record. That's what we do here at Totem Pole. Somebody said the totem pole is just for Native Americans. Dude, there's a lot of different totem poles all around the world. And they work on that junk over and over and over. I forgot the name of that movie, but it is a good, funny movie. It's something about your brother. I'm your brother, a lost brother or something, because he acts like he's his brother, but he's really his dad because they're around the same age. But, dude, you got the pyramids. You got the stone that the builders rejected. Good morning, sirs. I want to go where your coaches and teachers are going to invest in you the most. That's what I've come to understand would be my suggestion to any hopeful college student athlete. This is our man, Michael K. Okay, so, Michael, let me ask you this, brother. Everybody's hustling. Everybody's hustling. There aren't many people that are genuine, that do it for the right reasons. Well, how can you say that, Coach? Because I'm a hustler. You got to be a hustler when you deal with hustlers. After I went crazy about my player getting hurt, I went on here and I did a live video going crazy on college coaches, telling them, stop telling kids to come to camp. Stop telling kids to come to camp when you have no interest in offering them and you're just trying to get their money, because you know if you get 100 kids to go to camp, you get $50 a kid. Whoa, what? Yeah, when you open up the curtain, you find out what's behind the curtain. And dude, here's what I say. If somebody's telling you something that's too good to be true, if they telling you that, they telling 10 other people that. Don't go where you love. Go with who loves you. Because when you're the low man on the totem pole, you find out who you love. I didn't have to go seek the man from Seattle. I didn't have to go seek Lambo. It was like Customato said, Customato got kicked out of boxing, banned for life because he wouldn't cheat. Customato wouldn't cheat because he won't down with the mafioso. Mike Tyson said that he summoned him. He summoned him. He told him his future. He said, you're going to be the youngest world champ of all time. How did he know? He already had the youngest world champion of all time, Floyd Patterson. Goats make goats. Money moves sports betting. Paul, you're at a crossroads. There's a fork in the road. You've gotten to retirement. I mean, you're going to be an empty nester. This is your last kid getting ready to go into his senior year, go to college. You want to know what his path is going to be. But all you have to do is look in the rearview mirror and see what his path has been from the beginning. You got to be able to look back and connect the dots. How are you feeling, Paul?
I feel great. I mean, it makes you're making me feel calm about all of this stuff is happening. All I've got to do is, and again, when you talk about growth mindset versus fixed mindset, all the stuff I told you I was doing, it's because I want to learn new things every day about the process, about the pattern. I'm trying to learn. I'm not just sitting back going, okay, it is what it is. There's nothing for me to learn, or there's nothing for me to further know about the situation. But I want to learn and know every piece of the process and every piece of the pattern, because then I can sit back and then feel very good about letting the process play itself out and letting the pattern play itself out.
And that's what you've always done. It doesn't matter what it is. I guarantee you that's what you've always done. You did your homework. You did your research. You wrote your reports. That's your DNA. Right?
Yes.
In the military, your job was to get information and collect it and write reports. Lambo, what are you thinking about? Paul, what was your job in the military? You locked up. Was your job to collect information and bring it together and create reports?
Sometimes, the job was logistics, meaning
so there's a lot of logistics.
Yes, moving things across the battlefield.
And you're moving your son from one place to another.
Correct.
And you want to know the logistics involved, the pros and the cons.
Correct.
The consequences, the rewards, the negative things that may happen, the positive things, the weaknesses and the strengths. That's what you do. That's your DNA. Because you're taking one thing from another. So you want to know all the things that's going to be a part of the game. Right?
Correct. Yep.
So what are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Me or Paul?
We're gonna go with Paul.
I'm
Then I'll
not
go
I'm
to
not
you.
actually I'm not thinking anything right now. I'm just taking all I'm taking in on everything you're saying, and I'm just going, okay, all right. Um, have I left? Have I turned over every stone? You know, and you know, it's a long summer. There's some things that are gonna have to be done, and again, it's just let the process play out. I mean, and again, it's important to not overlook the things like, hey, love who loves you. Figure out who loves you, and then it makes it makes making this decision a little bit easier. But until that time, continue to be you and continue to work on the things that you want to be better at.
Lambo, growth mindset, fixed mindset. What we've been talking about today. Kansas getting injured, me going crazy. I had a college coach, my friend at a Division I school in Virginia, contact me and tell me, Troy, stop talking. Troy, be quiet. That's that fear. That's deceit. That's not truth. That's not love. Troy, you need to stop talking, or college coach is going to stop messing with you. Oh, yeah? They'll stop messing with me if I ain't got a player. If the only reason they care about me is because I have a player. But if you truly love somebody, you don't stop messing with them. The guy said, well, they'll start going to their handlers. I said, well, then if they want to deal with handlers, they must be a handler themselves.
Mm. Well,
And I didn't stop. And I'm not going to be quiet because it's the truth. And it's the truth today. It's the truth tomorrow. It'll be a truth in 100 years. What is true today is true tomorrow. And nothing changes, man. Go watch Dog Day Afternoon. What's real ain't always real. And what's fake ain't always real. And what's real ain't always fake. Lambo, how are you feeling? What have you got planned today? How do you feel with what we're saying, what we're talking about?
it's funny how college coaches try to tell you to be quiet because they're so worried about, the loss of money, or they're not going to make a certain amount of money. They're just when it comes to football coaches, they're only there about money. They don't really actually love the game. They're just there to get a paycheck. It's kind of the same thing where you can relate to some players being in NBA and NFL. They don't actually love the game. They're just there for a paycheck because they have to provide and they have to take care of their family. If you love something, you'll do it for free eventually. But at the end of the day, people always people are stupid, retarded. Everybody thinks that they're smart when they're really not smart at all. They just want to sound smart. They want to sound good. But at the end of the day, you got to stop using these kids, man. That's the problem. They want to use you and use you for money. Like going to them camps don't mean anything. I need to see how you perform in an actual game setting. I'm not worried about what you do in camp, or what you can do in the drill. You can do that in practice. Whatever you can do whatever you can do in a drill, you can do that in practice. Um, all this nonsense to get offers is kind of stupid. All these camps and the whole process you have to go through. You really don't care about these kids. You just want an extra body. You just want to get them kids in student debt. That's all it comes down to. Try to get them in student debt, and that's what the world is trying to. The world doesn't want you to be successful. They don't want you to be entrepreneurs. They want you to be employees, right?
Mm,
Not saying that
mm,
being an employee is a bad thing, but you don't want to be an employee forever. They want you to work under the system. They want you to work, you know, in the system that they give you. They don't want you to expand. They don't want you to have your own platform. They don't want you to have your own business, right? They don't want you to have your own freedom. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is the growth mindset. You have to be able to be around people that will help you grow. You have to be able to be around smart people, engaging people. You got to be around older people. I know y'all can make fun of old people all you want, but be around the older people that's already been 20, 25, 30 years old. Because the world is different in 2024 than it was back in 2000s. That's what y'all gotta that's what y'all gotta understand, right? At the end of
Megatron,
the,
put a shirt on.
don't need to, don't need to. Working out, I don't need to put on no shirt.
I'm,
Walking,
I'm
I'm
gonna tell you,
walking.
I'm gonna tell you some advice I heard. I think KRS One said this. Older people need younger people, and younger people need older people. The younger people need older people because that's who teaches them the pattern, teaches them life, teaches them their road, that sees something in them that they may not see in themselves. But older people need younger people because those younger people keep the older people young at heart. You got to stay curious to have a growth mindset. Paul, what are you thinking? You locked up for a little bit. What would you like to
I'm
tell
very
people?
curious.
We're documenting history right here, man.
Yeah, stay curious. And that's what I'm doing. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes even you get on me for like maybe overthinking the process or whatever, but I mean, I'm just curious. I'm just a creature of knowledge. I just want more information. That's
Yeah.
it.
Michael K says, I believe that Paul simplified it very well. This may sound like a nursery rhyme. Well, there's the reason that nursery rhymes are nursery rhymes, because they teach a lesson, they teach a story. It's a pattern, it's a rhyme. This may sound like a nursery rhyme, but good. It's for me, you. It's me for you and you for me. It's me for you and you for me, and for me and me for you. That's the bond of togetherness. My father. That's like one, what is that? The Musketeers, the Three Musketeers. Have you ever heard of that before, Paul? It's me for you and
No,
you for me, and you for me and me for you.
no.
There's a transference. I love that movie with Denzel Washington, Antoine Fisher. There's the kid who's always getting in trouble. He's always fighting all the time. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know Antoine Fisher. Oh yeah, that's a great movie. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's a great movie.
yeah,
Definitely, yes sir.
Antoine
Great
Fisher
movie.
was always angry and he was always fighting. Well, guess what? He had a reason to be angry and he had a reason to be fighting. And it wasn't until he met a doctor that he started learning about himself. But the doctor started learning about himself. And the patient, the student, helped the teacher more than the patient helped the doctor, because the doctor realized that he had things to work on in himself. Remember that, Lambo? Antoine
Yep.
Fisher
Yeah, I watched Antoine Fisher
had
like
marital
three, four
problems
times.
because they
Yeah,
couldn't get,
yeah.
huh?
I watched Antoine Fisher. Yeah, I watched it like 4 or 5
Great
times.
movie, man.
Yes, great movie. Most. That's why I like to watch the Denzel movies, them Denzel Washington movies, because they always teach you something. Especially Fences. Y'all need. I don't know if y'all watch Fences, but Fences is a great movie by Denzel too. Came out in 2016. Fences is a great movie.
Tell me
It
why it's a great movie.
man, I just Fences just teaches you like how the real world is, right? It just teaches you that everything isn't handed to you. You have to earn it. And back then, they you're working for them white folks. back there in the movie, just in general, but also in the movie. And
Dude, that's
you know,
the way it was. You know how it is, man.
yeah, yeah.
You can say whatever you want on here, man. We ain't
I
got to
don't
be
want to,
politically correct.
yeah, I don't want to offend no people, but just watching the movie,
It ain't
it just
nobody to offend, bro. We're all one. What happened in the past was intentional. It was by
yeah.
design.
And,
And
here,
it's still
and here's
happening today, man. They want me
here's
to
the
hate you and you to hate me.
here's
But
the
you know
lesson.
what? We've been hating each other too long.
Here's the lesson. Here's the lesson for the
Go ahead.
fences. The lesson on the movie of fences is um my job, what Denzel said to the son on there, my job isn't to like you. My responsibility is to take care of you. Liking your black ass wasn't one of them.
I want to show y'all this video. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this, but I want to show it to y'all. Hold on. This is Denzel. Made me think of this. Growth mindset. See, a lot of people don't know that Denzel Washington actually flunked out of college.
I did. I know the whole
You
story.
knew
He
that.
flunked out of college. He flunked out of college and he got his degree later on.
But his mom owned a beauty salon. And there was this old lady that was sitting in the beauty salon under the dryer, and she just continues to stare at him. And this is the story.
The future is not just going to happen. You have to make it. And if you want a successful business, all it takes is an idea. And now
Here it
I
is.
had never thought about being an actor. I was 22. I was a senior in college. I started at 20 as a junior in college.
I had something like that. When I was 22, I was in Baltimore working on a television show there. And Wintley Phipps, you know, the gospel singer Wintley Phipps, said to me backstage one day, the same thing that the woman Ruth had said to you, that there are bigger things ahead for you. You're going to be speaking to millions of people. And, you know, I didn't necessarily believe it, but I just thought maybe there is something to that. And there was a woman named Ruth who said that to you.
Ruth Green. I was sitting in my mother's beauty shop, looking in the mirror, and I see this woman through the mirror. She's behind me under the dryer. And every time I look up, she's like, so I'm kind of looking away, you know. And every time I looked up, she was just like this.
Looking at
She
you.
said, somebody give me a piece of paper. And she wrote prophecy. She couldn't even spell it.
Okay. So I'm just pausing it because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but we might. Who cares? We're teaching a lesson, man. This is Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier. The two greatest black actors of all time in this country. Drake thought he was going to be the third. Sorry, Drake. I guess you are an actor. You did become the third. But you ain't Denzel because you don't know nothing about that. Denzel didn't know his path, Paul. And an old woman, she saw the pattern. I guess maybe she knew his dad or his mom. But she knew what pattern he came from. And listen to this.
She wrote prophecy, and she wrote 1975, and she wrote the number 28. I'm born on the 28th. My wife is born on the 28th. My first son is born on the 20th. I don't know if it means anything. I don't know why she wrote 28. But she wrote prophecy, and she says, boy, you're going to speak to millions of people. She says, you're going to travel the world, and you're going to speak to millions of people. And I asked my mother, I said, well, who is this woman?
The gift of prophecy.
She said, well, she's one of the oldest church members in the town, and
she
she's
had that
known
gift.
to have the gift of prophecy. And she wrote down 1975, she wrote prophecy. So I thought, so am I supposed to become a preacher? I asked my pastor, should I become a preacher? He's like, no, you're doing good right where you are. He says, you are a preacher. So I have always looked at, I'm saying all this to say, I have always looked at what I do as not preaching, but maybe as my pulpit, you know, the roles that I played, I looked at the spiritual evolution of those characters, not just the characters. People like Reuben Hurricane Carter, Malcolm X, Stephen Biko.
Which you deserved an Oscar for Hurricane
infused that
Carter.
in there. Even Training Day, the first thing I wrote on that script was, the wages of sin is death.
Man. Lambo, had you ever seen that before?
Training Day? Yeah, I've seen that video. And I watched Training Day. It's very great.
So you've actually seen that video. I'm muting your mic, Paul, because it's got a lot of feedback. MK, MK.
And you did that yesterday too.
All right. That's my stomach. I'm sorry. I ate some Mexican food last night. Paul,
Stop playing.
have you ever seen that video before about Denzel Washington and the woman telling him that he was going to travel around the world and speak to millions of people?
No. But very interesting.
Dude. Yeah. I mean, sometimes people can see something in you that you can't see in yourself. I've had two people call me Jimbo Fisher. My friend Paul Medley and Dane James, who knew Jimbo Fisher. Lambo, you are blessed and highly favored, dude. I know you're blessed and highly favored because look at what you've been through and look at where we are. I told you yesterday, I text you, we're going to turn a dream into reality. We're going to turn a dream into reality. Dog Day Afternoon, Al Pacino. Watch that movie and tell me what is new. Ain't nothing new. MK, even a correct decision is wrong when it was taken too late. And if you're wrong, Paul, what does the growth mindset say? And what does the fixed mindset say about even a correct decision is wrong when it was taken too late? What does the growth mindset say? And what does the fixed mindset say about that, Paul?
Okay, I was focused on the road. Go ahead, say that again.
Even a correct decision is wrong when it was taken too late. If you end up making a mistake or waiting too late, what does the growth mindset say about that moment, that experience? And what does the fixed mindset say about that moment and that experience?
The fixed mindset would say, well, I guess there's nothing I can do. I'm just stuck here. But the growth mindset just, basically turns a negative into a positive and goes, okay, what is my next move?
Learning.
Yes.
Lambo, how did you learn to walk? How did you, maybe you don't remember this. I was listening to.
You practice how to walk.
I was listening to Terrence Howard, and he was saying that he could remember being in his mom's womb. That's impressive. But
it's practice.
But what do you have to do to practice? Have you ever seen a baby learn how to walk? They got to what?
It's called repetition. They got to crawl first.
They crawl, but then they stand up. Paul, you've had kids. What do they have to do in order to learn how to walk?
They have to crawl, then they have to stand up, then they have to work on their balance, meaning when
they have to do what? Fall.
They have to learn.
Fail. They have to fall. The only way you learn is by failing. The only way you learn to ride a bike is by falling off the bike. If you're scared to fall off the bike, you're never going to learn how to ride a bike. There you go. Michael K., you got it. You got to fall. You got to fail. Just because you fail, you're a failure. Just because you win don't mean you're a champion. Just because you get a plastic trophy don't mean you're a champion. You might have cheated. Dude, you're a champion because what's inside you.
Ho. I found out. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah.
We heard that one of the coaches at Salem cheated. Yeah.
Well, dude, like, there's a pattern. There's a pattern. And guess what? Some people ain't going to like you because you ain't of the same pattern. You ain't of the same energy. You ain't of the same vibe. Yeah. Y'all serve two
coaches,
different masters. And I'm
y'all-
not talking about no individuals, but when you do good things, some people are going to hate you. Go ahead, Lambo. And don't even give nobody
y'all
no
coaches
respect,
in,
man, by mentioning
youth
them.
football.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying no names. I already know who. I found out last night. But see, y'all coaches think y'all real coaches, but y'all cheating. Youth football. Y'all cheating, and got 3 players suspended too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
These kids are
but
12, these kids 10 to 13 years old getting suspended because y'all gotta cheat.
yeah,
Y'all don't know how to
dude,
win the correct one.
there were some adults that went along with it. Like, kids just don't cheat on their own. Like, they have to have parents' permission. Okay, so
I know.
like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, that's
I'm
what.
saying like you're screwing the kids over is what I'm saying. You're
Yeah, but
screwing them
dude, are
over
they
at a young
really?
age.
Because they can just go to another league and play. Like, it isn't like back when me and Paul were kids, there was one league. Like, dude, everybody's got a league. Everybody's got a team. How do you think they pay their mortgage when they don't work?
They got rich parents. Some of them got rich parents.
I'm talking about the people that own the leagues and own the teams. These junks
They
are
suck.
money makers.
They
Everybody's
suck somebody
hustling
off.
everybody.
They suck somebody
Paul,
off. That's what happens.
what does the pattern say? What does the pattern say about what you're going through right now with your own son and having a growth mindset and a fixed mindset before you go to your appointment?
It says definitely have a growth mindset, and continue to take in all and any information that's going to help you make an informed decision.
Don't take advice. Or what is it Dabo said? Don't take criticism from people that you wouldn't take advice from. Don't take criticism from people that you wouldn't take advice from. So Coach McNally told me, Troy, you need to talk about football. You're a feel-good guy. You're a motivation guy. And I took that from Coach. I said, okay, well, I'll talk about how quarterbacks don't look straight down the field. Their eyes go automatically to where, the right or left. Like on the first step, your eyes are supposed to be straight ahead. But you win with people. You win with people. Michael K says, thinking for yourself and being selfish in a good way. That's 2 sides of the same coin Paul is talking about. I mean, dude, it's what Ralph Waldo Emerson called to thy own self be true. And everybody said that was selfish. No, he was listening to his inner voice. Not his outer voice. So, Paul, are you at your appointment?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anything you want to say before you sign off and go to your appointment?
Hey, everyone, just have a great day and try to be better than TRY. Try to be better today than you were yesterday.
Try. Give effort. You know why people don't try? You know why people don't give effort?
Because they're scared to fail. They're scared to fail.
And when you don't win and you tried and you give your heart to something, it hurts. It's called heartbreak. It's the same feeling you have when you love somebody and they tell you they don't love you no more. I've had that feeling. I know it. That's why people are cold. That's why people don't really let you see what's inside. They don't speak from their heart. They put up a persona. They wear a mask. Man, is Totem Pole Sport coming on today?
If Paul can get out his appointment, yeah.
What time do you want to do Totem Pole Sport?
Before I go to work.
Graham said, SSN guy said, focus on the NBA. Focus on the NBA for the next couple weeks and make that content for those teams so we can post it on Autograph.
I already did. I made videos yesterday.
What's up, boss man? What's the dilly? Boss man, are you the CIA agent in my class from Boston?
I already made content for the NBA.
Hey,
yesterday.
Paul, we'll check you later, brother. You made content?
Yesterday, yeah. I did the Eastern Conference Finals preview. So today I might do the Western Conference today.
Paul was saying he was listening to some guys on the radio that had their own podcast, and he said these guys are on the radio and they have their own podcast, but they ain't no better than us, and we're the low man on the totem pole. Like,
who cares about guys on the radio? Like, who cares? Like,
yeah,
half these analysts don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know, man. All I know is Totem Pole Nation loves y'all. We want you to have a growth mindset. Don't have a fixed mindset. Just because you fail don't mean you're a failure. The only way you learn is by falling down. The only way you learn is by failing. And I want to tell a story, man. There was a girl in our school. She had taken the world history SOL like 20 times. And yesterday she was in my class and my buddy was tutoring her. And I said, stop. And I pulled up an old test. I said, this test don't test how well you know the material. It really tests how well you read. Because I've been teaching this class for 20 years. I got to read the question 5 times just to figure out what they're asking. So I taught her the pattern. I said, okay, there's a picture in this question. Look at the picture. What does it say? Okay, look at the question. Don't even read the question. Just look at the words. What are the main words? What are the key words? Oh, Neolithic, New Stone Age. And Lambo, Coach Neil called me and he said, your girl passed. Dude, I was like, my girl passed? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought he meant like passed away. Like somebody passed away. No, she passed the test. I told her she was going to pass the test because the test, they want you to think there's only one right answer in life. That's not having a growth mindset. That's having a fixed mindset. So, St. Pete Rejuvenate, we love you. Autograph.io, use the word Totem Pole Nation, all one word, download the app. You get rewarded for being a fan. I think Totem Pole Nation's up to like 2,500 coins. We got to get 4,000 coins to possibly win an autographed jersey. And we're going to have that junk hanging up in Totem Pole Headquarters 2 in Richmond, Virginia. When that day comes, because we're going to make a dream into a reality. We have a point to prove. We're the low man on the totem pole. We have a chip on our shoulders. We know where we came from. We know who we represent. We know who we are. We're from Route 10. And we love y'all. Lambo, what you want to say to to Totem Pole Nation?
We're gonna be better than Barstool, ESPN, FS1, Fox, because we're not actors, we're real people.
The only competition is ourselves. The only competition is ourselves. That's whether you work at Raising Cane's or you're a teacher or a high school coach or a trash man or a janitor or a lawyer. The only competition is yourself. Don't worry about the guys on the outside. Worry about the guy on the inside. Go Richmond Flying Squirrels. That's right. That's where we're from, man. We're from Richmond, Virginia. I used to be a Braves fan, but the Braves didn't love us. So now I'm a Flying Squirrels fan because I'm from RVA. I'm from the 804. I'm from the Triangle. Do you represent Texas or you represent Virginia? Or do you represent both, Lambo?
Virginia.
VA all day. 2 up, 2 down. Virginia is for lovers. Man, we got 82 people in here watching us, Lambo. That makes me want to keep the show going. The show don't stop because we press end. The show continues, y'all. You the star of this movie. You're the one that determines what your past makes you. The same thing that makes a villain makes a hero. Look at Batman and Joker. The only difference is how they see the outside world. Batman has been healed. The Joker is hurt. He hasn't been healed. The Joker tries to hurt others. He thinks that Batman is evil, bad like him. Batman's been healed. He tries to heal others. He's a builder. The Joker is a destroyer. Lambo, who is your favorite superhero?
I ain't got one. I don't really
Come
care
on,
about
brother.
I don't really care about favorites. It's about being consistent. It's about being the best at what you do.
But what character resonates with you? Which character can you relate to? Because these
Tom
characters
Brady.
were created. Tom Brady, which would be like Superman. Tom Brady's like Superman. So you like
Tom
Superman.
Brady.
I like Batman. I like Moon Knight. I'm like the vigilante. So I guess who's the I guess I would resonate with what's his name? McMahon from the Bears. The quarterback. I guess I resonate with Antonio. Yeah, McMahon, the quarterback from the Bears. What was
Is he played now or he played back then?
Played back then, man. He played on the 86 Bears.
I don't know his first name.
Oh, you don't know his name? I'll think of it here in a second. I like the bad boys. Yeah, his name is I can't think. I was thinking Vince McMahon. Moon Knight. Oh, let's go. Moon Knight that speaks to me, and my cousin worked on that show. Wow. Dude, I loved Moon Knight. I never even read the comic book, but I like Moon Knight because he don't know what's real and what's not. And if you really study that junk about Egyptian history and like what they believed, like, wow. Moon Knight is that dude, man. That's amazing. I wish they would do some more episodes of that show. I just looked at the art. Yeah. So Lambo's gone. We love y'all. Y'all the best. Totem Pole Nation. We'll be back. Lambo, you got anything else you want to say, brother? I was getting ready to end it, but you popped back on.
No, people gotta be consistent, and Total Pose is gonna be back better than ever. We got a surprise. We got a surprise for y'all. We got a surprise for y'all. If we're not gonna say the details, but whatever works, whatever gets to the favorites, we might get that old studio back. That's all I'm gonna